Wiley. Hey. Are you glad to see the back of the Doctor?
I look at that clip and I go, who is that kid?
That hairless kid.
Yeah, hairless kid. Yeah. Sorry.
Good pan face, though, you know, panic and that good, good stuff.
Doctors never say whoops, they say there.
You were in it right from the beginning, weren't
Yeah,
you? You were even in the pilot episode. Had you any idea when you did the pilot episode what would happen to your character? Could you have even imagined that you go from being a medical student?
No, I had no idea. In fact, we all had very low expectations about how that show was going to be received. There were several medical dramas that year, and we were the one that nobody bet on. So we all thought we'd do a few episodes and then go back to our waiting tables or whatever we were doing.
Is that how life was at the time?
Yeah, pretty close. I just quit a restaurant job right before I got ER. And,
It's real famine or feast stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. It's a tough business. Yeah.
Your mum's a nurse, is that right?
Yes.
So she has a proper job.
Yes.
Like any of us sat here.
Well, she's retired now. I convinced her that my hospital paid better than hers. And...
So was she quite the critic when it came to the way you played your medical self?
Yeah, well, rightly so. She had to go to work and be accountable to it the next day. So after the show would air, she'd call and she'd say, "You never touch your face with bloody gloves." And, you know,
and you said, "Don't swear, Mother."
I'm really excited about your new show, Falling Skies. I'm a massive Alien fan. I know I'm not one of those, you know, people that talk about aliens, but I do like watching it. I was a big fan of V, and it's Steven Spielberg. So are there going to be a lot of special effects, or is it more of a drama?
There are tons. In fact, we shot the pilot episode 2 years ago, and then finished the series a year ago. But these episodes take so much time in post-production to do all the digital effects, and they look terrific. I'm really proud of it.
So you're shooting it, not knowing what you're playing up against?
No, you react to a tennis ball at the end of a stick or a piece of tape.
Wow.
Can we see the aliens?
Yeah, they're in the pilot episode. You'll see them right off the bat. But like any good like any good Spielberg project, you really don't want to show the shark until the third reel. It's all about the anticipation of the event that builds the tension.
I like the fact that it's all about a war, and these are really intelligent aliens, because the kind of science fiction I've got no time for that assumes that the people that are invading us are kind of dumb and they're green with a kind of lump on
No,
their
quite
head.
the contrary. Well, initially, we don't really know why they're there or what they want, and they seem to want our kids, but we don't really know why. And then as the season unfolds, there's all sorts of great twists and turns, and by the end of the year, the characters and the audience have to radically redefine all the assumptions they've made about what's been happening. It's a really good...
You find it quite hard as an actor, I think, when you are, if you like, the alien and the human story, really hanging on to all the... Because it's about all the human things. That's the other thing, isn't it? It's not just about...
Yeah,
it's
well,
about leadership
I've been asked a lot to compare it to V and The Event and a lot of the other sci-fi shows, but this is really a character drama. It's almost like a family drama at its heart, set against the backdrop of an alien invasion show. I play a father of... Yeah, I have 3 boys on the show, recently widowed in the invasion. And 2 of them are with me. One of them has been abducted. It's really, the first few episodes are dominated by me trying to just keep my family alive and intact.
Which is great, because that will hold people initially anyway. That'll bond everybody ready for the aliens.
Yeah, it walks a very fine line between being a classic character drama and a genre show.
Because we pick up with the story 6 months after the invasion, and life on Earth is not as we know it any longer. And you really kind of unwittingly find yourself being kind of foisted into a leadership role, but really all you're interested in is protecting your kids and trying to find your son, who for some reason these aliens are holding. Is that right?
That's exactly right. I play a guy who is an American history professor at Boston University. He's really an academic who, because he has some theoretical knowledge about military strategy and tactic, gets this leadership role leading these civilians, which he's really kind of reluctant to do.
When I read anything about somebody's child being unaccounted for, away from them, abducted, you know, that just gives me palpitations as a parent. Did you tap into that, because you're a dad yourself?
Yeah, I'm a dad twice over, and it's not the prettiest headspace to occupy, but it's a very deep well to draw from. So.
And in that, obviously, you know, you're a leader, so you're a fighter. But are you in real life? You know, sometimes, as the problems that we've faced, we've quite liked to run, but. What about you?
Yeah, I go right down the middle, you know. Sometimes I step up and surprise myself, and other times I freeze up and embarrass myself.
What about travelling? We were talking earlier about when you're going to travel somewhere, do you prepare? And I hope you didn't hear Zoe's story about going to Rome on numerous occasions, only ever seeing Waterworld. What about you? Would you be in Waterworld or going around the Colosseum?
No, I like to. I'm more of the immersion traveler. I like to at least know a few words of the language if I can, and put my best foot forward, so to speak. I learned English before I came.
What about your time as a backseat driver? Are you a tutter and a ooh? Do you do a lot of that?
You know, I was thinking about that, listening to. I'm no longer married, but when my ex-wife and I would drive, she was like a homing pigeon. I have no sense of direction, so I really relied on her heavily to get us
She was your
wherever we were
sat-nav
going.
/ wife.
Absolutely. But she had absolutely no conception of time, so we were always late. I would always say, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go, but then I wouldn't know where to go. And so she would tell us where to go, but we always ended up sort of late.
Sounds like good teamwork.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, funny how that worked out.
Do you believe in aliens? Is it something that you now buy into?
Yeah, I've been asked that question too. I have no idea, to be honest. I think we'd be sort of egocentric to assume we're the only intelligent life, assuming we're intelligent life in the universe. But whether they're friendly or not friendly, or like spiders or like sticks, I couldn't tell you.
I was interested reading about how you did a lot of research to play the part. You read loads of military history and the story of the American Revolution.
Yeah, that's the part of my job I like the best. I like the detective work. You know, it gives me an opportunity of an ongoing education in all these different fields where I usually would have no interest or aptitude. So if you're playing a doctor, I read medical textbooks. I play a lawyer, I read legal textbooks. I'm playing a history professor. I read up on my history.
Well, you convinced us on every level, and thank you so much for dropping by today.
It's
Noah
entirely
Wyle,
my
everyone.
pleasure.